If you feel like you're always busy, but you're never really moving forward, I've got news for you. You're not alone. And it's probably not that you're not working hard. It's that you're making mistakes that are silently killing your productivity. Hi, I'm Jason Ellinger from Toggl Translations. And today I'm going to share with you some of the biggest productivity killers and how to eliminate them for good. But before we get into it, please like and subscribe to this video. Click the notifications bell because I share direct strategies for entrepreneurs to help them grow their business and eliminate wasted time. Now, let's get right to it. Number one, the first and foremost item that it kills productivity more than anything else is that people get in this trap of being busy. They get so busy in the day-to-day activities or in the stuff that's going on in their organization, or they're putting out fires. I've heard a lot of people say, well, I feel like I'm putting out fires all day long. And you get into this cycle and then you just keep going and going and going, but you never get ahead. You never get rise above where you want to be and move beyond it. You're stuck. If this is you, you're stuck in the busy trap. You're being busy, you're doing a lot of activity, but you're not moving the needle. So in order to fix this problem, you have to prioritize impact over activity. What are the items that I'm doing that bring the biggest impact for me and my organization today? And if maybe you don't have a big team, maybe it's you're just a one-man stand. What are the biggest items that are going to bring the biggest impact for me today? And you have to sit down and answer this question before the day begins, preferably the night before, so that as you launch into the day, you focus on those tasks first. And normally, they're the ones you don't know how to do. They're the ones that are slightly confusing. They're the ones that you're not really good at, and so you avoid them. And when you do that over time, you get into the cycle of being busy but not productive. And so what you have to do, and I learned this from a book called Eat This, Eat That Frog. It said every time you start a project, always eat the ugliest frog first. And that means do the hardest thing first that you don't know how to do. Do it. Get it done. Get it off your list and make sure it's done well. And once you've done that, you can move to the other things that you know more about how to do and you do well all the time anyways. Do the hardest thing first. That makes the biggest impact. And sometimes it's the thing you don't know how to do. You just have to recognize that, and that gives you a chance to grow. The key question that you must ask yourself each day in this section is this task moving me towards my goal? Is this taking me closer to where I want to go? Or is this just a busy thing that I'm doing so that I can avoid having to focus on the things that actually move the needle? Busy people work hard. Productive people make an impact. The second big killer of productivity is multitasking. This is a silent productivity killer by all means and bounds, because you think you're saving time by juggling 4 or 5 different tasks and having them all open on your computer or your phone or your iPad all at the same time. But the reality is, every switch to a different task or different project is that you're losing 40% of your focus every time you switch. Every time you switch, if you lose 40% of focus when you're switching between tasks, you're not going to be productive. And this is going to kill your ability to move the needle forward in that area. So don't spend time multitasking and stealing focus from everything that you could give 100% focus to and completely bring your business to a new level. The fix for this is work deeply focused on a singular task that you can focus on for 90 minutes straight. 90 minutes beats 4 hours of scattered work time any day of the week. A pro tip here is silence notifications, set a timer, and commit fully to one task. Whether you're creating an ebook, or whether you're creating a video for YouTube, or whether you're editing a video, or whether you're sending emails to clients, and you will be amazed by how many direct individual emails you can send out to your clients in a 90-minute period of time if you simply focus on that task and focus on doing it well. Focus on make sure it's a reciprocal email, make sure you're asking a good question, make sure you're putting a great subject in that gets their attention, make sure that you're offering them that you have a great CTA, that the email is not too bulky, that you've cut out all the fat so that you make sure that it's very clean and very communicative and very friendly, And all of these things can happen if you're switching between tasks. But if you focus exclusively for a chunk of time, you will be amazed by how productive and how excellent you're able to do with that task because you simply focused. Don't switch between 5 different tasks. Focus on one in a big chunk of time. The third thing is poor time awareness, not tracking your time and not knowing where your time is going. Most people never track where their time goes, and most people don't know where their time goes. So here's a pro tip. Track where your time is going. For 1 week, track everything that you do. You can use tools like Toggl or Rescue Time and find out where you're losing your hours. Because when you focus on understanding where you're spending your time, you understand that you're probably spending some time on things you don't need to do or that completely are not moving the needle. That 45 minutes on Instagram just cost you thousands of dollars because you could have written 25 emails to clients during that same time and likely got some sales. Here's a bonus tip. Cut out low value activities that drain your time that don't drive any meaningful results. If you don't measure it, you can't improve it. If you cannot measure the thing that you're doing, you cannot make an improvement on that thing. Item number 4, over planning. Planning feels productive, and in some senses it is, but it can also be a trap for a lot of others. Many people are really good at planning. And so they spend all of their time planning and no time doing. One of the great generals that I listened to back in my military days, he said, a good plan never survives first contact with the enemy. And that came from it was like General Eisenhower or General Patton, something like that during World War II. And he said, a good plan violently executed today is better than a perfect plan scheduled for sometime next week. And I think that's the spirit of this. I think that represents the spirit of this section incredibly well, in that you plan and then you get to work, because what gets you from here to here is not planning. What gets you from here to here is action. And so many initiatives fail for lack of activity. You have to take yourself from here to here, and that differentiator is action. More videos, more content, more emails, more phone calls, webinars, more reaching out and getting in front of clients and actually talking to real people each day to make the sales, to grow your business, to connect, and to cause your organization to prosper. So all that to say, we need a mindset shift. Success comes from execution. The 5th item is this. Don't let your morale or your mood control your work. If you want to feel motivated, you will never be motivated. If you're waiting to feel motivated, most of the times that's the reason that people actually never even start, because they don't feel like it. Well, of course you don't feel like it. You're not going to know what you don't know. You're not going to understand how to do all of the activities perfect. Most of the time we spend our time doing things that we enjoy doing that we're kind of good at. But the reality is, if you're going to be productive, and you're going to move the needle, move yourself from here to here, you're probably going to do a lot of things that you're not really good at, that you kind of suck at, that you're going to have to suck less at in order to actually be productive. And that is going to take repetition, and then making them better and improving and going through that cycle of plan, execute, measure, change, plan, execute, measure, change, plan, execute, and then just keep going through that, getting better and better until you're actually producing the results. So many people fail because they're waiting to feel inspired to do the work, when all it actually takes is action. You just have to get after it and do the hard things that you don't know how to do, that you're not necessarily good at, that make the result. You have to build a system, not a wish list. Schedule the task, regardless of whether or not you know how to do it. Set a time that you're going to work on it, and then start. Key mindset item for you to remember is discipline beats motivation. Do it even when you don't want to. If you only work when you feel like it, you'll never get the repetitions enough in that are going to cause you to move the needle. And I can't stress this point alone enough. It takes many repetitions around the wheel of productivity in order to make something that actually works, to get something off the ground. It's trial and error and trial and error. And you will never feel good as you're going through the trial and error stage. You will never feel great because you will never ring the 10, you will never hit a 10. You will never achieve 100%. You will never feel like you're successful because you're constantly going through this repetitive stage of, well, I tried that didn't work. I got to do a little better. I got to adjust this. I tried that, didn't work. I got to do better. I got to adjust it. And you keep going and going and going. And so many people, they do that repetition once or twice when the reality is you have to do it 1,000 times before you actually get good enough to make great progress. And they get mediocre or zero results, or just get discouraged because there are no results at all because they haven't gone through enough repetitions in their cycle to make a good outcome. You're never going to feel like doing all of that work for all that period of time, not getting the results you're after until the very end of the process. You're never going to feel like that because it's discouraging. But then once you get to the end and you actually start hitting those exponential results, you're like, holy cow, this was so worth it. And so many people look back on the journey and say, oh, the journey was so worth it because, and during the actual process, they were like, oh my gosh, this sucks so bad. I don't think I'm ever going to win. I don't think we can ever. I almost feel like I can't even make it, but I'm not going to. I know that I can't let my mood swing what I'm doing. So I just need to keep going. And those people, they make it to the end. They're like, oh my gosh, it was so amazing. The journey was so amazing. I learned so much. I learned this and I feel that. And it was amazing. And I did stuff when I didn't feel like it. And all of a sudden I've just got this great, incredible outcome. And you're like, yeah, but for the first 75% of it, you kind of felt like you sucked. So, but now you feel amazing because you're winning, and you should, because you are winning. But at the same time, it diminishes how you felt during that period of time. And I think that most people quit during that period of time, during the 70% of the time, and never fully achieve that great success, that exponential success that they're after. And so don't let your mood control your output. Don't let it control your work. You get to work, you get after it, you make a good plan, stick to it, and get after it. And that's the thing that truly moves you forward and across the finish line. Now that you know these 5 mistakes, I want you to apply this today, right now, today. Identify one productivity mistake that you're making right now and drop it immediately. Then comment below which one you're eliminating. If this content helped you in any way, please share it with somebody who needs help being more productive. And we all have people in our lives that need help being a little more productive. And of course, please turn on the notifications to the video so that you don't miss the next one. Now tell me in the comments, which one of these areas is killing your productivity? I really want to know, and I'll see you in the next video.